Hey there. Welcome to the Vibe with Deezy podcast. I'm Deezy, and joining me tonight is my guest.
Yeah, I'm Joncliff, JC. Some people know me as old friend of Deezy from back high school, and I don't know, maybe even saw him back around in middle school because we go way back.
Well, we're recording this after the podcast, so just be prepared for random conversation. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, it's lit.
All right, enjoy. And we're officially live.
Yep. We out here. We in there. Hashtag both of those. Yep. Fucked up my fidget spinner play. I had it balanced on one finger. Got a nice fidget spinner here, man. It's a nice white and black one. You know, all the kids got these, and for good reason. They're fun, and people who hate on them are kind of stupid. You feel me?
Yeah, but it's actually kind of dying, you know.
Yeah. Everything does.
Like, at my store, they used to sell. As soon as we got them now, there's plenty on the shelf.
Oh, yeah, everybody got them now. It's like Yoyos. You remember Yoyos?
Yeah.
Like, man.
Middle school, yeah.
How many Yoyos you had? Like, 2, 3?
I went through a few of them.
Man. Yeah, like, you get like, I remember this one dude, he got it like imported from Mexico, he said, and it was like this rad ass one. It had like a scorpion embedded in there, and I was just like, my God, man, like, you know, either you got like some cool hookup or like that. How much would that cost? Sweet scorpion yo-yo. I wanted it so bad.
When was that?
I was, I guess 99, 98.
What? How old was this guy?
That was middle school. Like I was.
Was he Mexican?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Like I mean, anybody else? It said they got it from Mexico. I'm like, I don't know, maybe. But this guy, I'm like, I can maybe believe it. Yeah.
He probably went over there. Probably went there to holiday.
Well, I mean, the town that I lived in at the time was Dalton, Georgia. It was the last year when Yoyos got crazy. It was the last year I lived there in Georgia before I moved to Texas. And, like, the population there is really, really crazy because it's just, like, it's all this rich, white, kind of inbred upper class that run all these carpet mills that are, like, the lifeblood of the town.
Yeah.
But then there's a huge Mexican population that runs all of those mills. It's like 50% Mexican up in there.
In Georgia.
In Georgia. In northwest corner of Georgia. And, like, that's been the way it is. Like, it's a hugely divided town economically. It's really weird.
You know, that's one of the things I've always wondered. Outside of Texas, what the Mexican population looks like in other states, you know?
Well, I mean, that was kind of a interesting thing, like, coming from that northwest Georgia area to Texas. Because, like, it just felt like more of the same to me. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a Mexican dude. What's good? Like going to school. Like I knew a bunch of them in both schools. You know, it didn't matter, and so it felt natural to me the whole way. That was cool. You know, of course, Daggett. Didn't you go to Daggett?
Yes.
Yeah. Like I mean, you remember I was like one of like 8 white kids in that year. And I think I was the only white kid in traditional. Like, I think all of the other ones were in that Montessori program.
Montessori, yeah.
I swear to God. Because, like, we didn't have Montessori in Georgia, or at least the schools that I was at. So they were like, no, you can't, like, start now. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, traditional. And this is how it was.
You know, I never really thought about that till now. Like, yeah, it was primarily Mexicans and
black. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like I didn't meet a white kid there for months.
What?
For real? Like, I mean, they would be in, like, other classes, maybe, or, like, because, like I said, they were all in Montessori.
Yeah.
I occasionally saw them in, like, gym class, but, like, I didn't even necessarily talk to them or anything. So, like, meet them properly, I mean, like, a couple months, maybe.
I'm trying to think of the white friends I had in Daggett.
There was Chucky. That one dude in Montessori. You were 06, right? Were you 06?
07.
Oh, dang. Okay. So,
so just 1 year later.
Yeah, 1 year later. But, like, my year, there's this kid named Chucky. But, like, your year, I don't know. Like, it was a really interesting and, like, I think a valuable experience for me. Because, like, it made me really appreciate, maybe like the only black person in the room,
Oh,
the only
yeah.
Mexican in the room. I'm just
What
like,
it feels like to be an outsider.
yeah, I'm like, you cool, dude? Like, I got you. Like, you know, it's I keep an eye out for that, and because I understand that experience, and you know, so very valuable experience. I feel like for me.
So when I was younger, the way I was an outsider was in my family. I was like pretty much the only chubby and fat kid. So everybody else was super skinny. So I don't know. Felt like an outsider. Like, why can't I be thin like them? Or
Right.
I don't know. So I know what that feels like, but on a different level.
Yeah, I feel that. Like, my family, like, we're all kind of fat. My dad, he wasn't as much. He started getting a little fatter, you know, later on, like, before he died. But, yeah, just, for my family, that was kind of normal. My extended family, not as much. Most of them are kind of skinny. And so, you know, kind of all over the place. That's I can understand that'd be weird, like within a family though, being the only one, like kind of like standing
Body
out
type,
that way.
yeah,
Yeah,
different body type.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's one way to start.
Yeah, that was like a weird tangent to start on.
Yeah, yeah. Man, those new like comic book movies and everything. Like, you seen any of those?
I've seen most of them.
Yeah. I'm trying to see Wonder Woman pretty soon. I still haven't seen that one. I heard it was dope.
Actually, I was streaming it via an illegal app yesterday.
Illegal alert.
But honestly, I wasn't paying attention to the movie at all.
It was a totally legal app there, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Totally.
Yeah, you didn't hear that.
But what'd you say?
But from what I saw, it was interesting, I guess. But yeah, I hardly paid attention. I mean, there was, we had all the kids. I was messing.
All the kids? Like, hold on. I thought you had one.
I have one, yes.
Right. But she has.
My fiance has two.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we have one on the way.
Hey.
You didn't know?
All right now. Slow down, baby maker.
Yeah, this is the last one, most likely.
You think? All right.
I'm scared and excited all at the same time.
Yeah.
Some days I'm excited, other days I'm like, holy fuck. Holy fuck, he's coming soon. What do I do?
It's a lot, dude. Oh, it's a he?
Yeah, it's a boy.
Okay. Is that does she have boys or?
Yeah, she has two boys.
Okay, so oh man,
it's gonna be 3 boys and my daughter.
Gonna be the littlest brother. Oh dang.
Yeah.
He gets all the combined knowledge of all the older brothers as soon as they're old enough to not be dickheads, and give it to him.
And hopefully they protect him, which I know for sure I am, and I'm pretty sure my daughter will also.
Yeah.
But I know.
Your daughter is the oldest among those, or?
No, she's the youngest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's 6.
Okay. Oh, so how old are hers?
7 and 8.
Okay, right on.
So 6, 7, 8.
The whole under 10 spread.
Yeah.
You good? And it's a nice even progression there. Like one will sort of pave the way if the other one's at like middle school and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's one thing that was like kind of funny for me is my sister was 6 years older than me, and so I didn't have like that sort of like heritage ever at a school. It was never like, there was a couple teachers that knew my sister from when she went through, but with like moving from Georgia to Texas, that sort of like that stopped at that point. And then from there it was just sort of like they were because like some people, they're just sort of like they come in, they have that sort of like kind of built-in network of like their older friends and kind of people they know, and I was just sort of like, all right, let's figure it all out.
So yeah, did you figure it out?
Oh yeah, all of it, every single bit. Hashtag number 12. 12 is just the answer to everything. So I did figure it all out. But anyway, you had asked me previously about that trip to Iceland I took.
Yeah. From all the pictures on your Facebook, it looked fucking amazing. And
Yeah, it was. Like, Iceland was cool, man. Like, there was a hell of experience. We did a travel tour group kind of thing. So there was like a bus that sort of took us everywhere. Became homies with the bus driver. Shout outs to Oscar, my man's out there. You doing your thing. I respect. I'm gonna take you to the bakery, son. Apparently, in Icelandic culture, it's so polite that if you want to pick a fight with somebody, you tell them take bakari, which I'm pretty sure I messed up on the pronunciation. Sorry, Oscar. But that means I'm going to take you to the bakery. Like, I'm going to knee you up. And it's just...
I read that and I was like, that's the most ridiculous thing. I wonder if...
It's for real. It's for real. And a little bit later that day, we went to this place that had the bombest apple pie I've had in like 12 years or some business. Like, it was insanely good. Like, shout outs to that place as well. The guy, like, everybody in Iceland speaks English, like 97% of them.
Okay.
Because that's just universal language. And they realize how niche their language is because they're so tiny. There's 300,000 people on that island. There's more people than that in Fort Worth.
Wow.
Yeah, think about that.
That's
200,000 of those people live in the capital, Reykjavik. About 50,000 or so in Akureyri in the north, it's capital of the north. And then the rest of them just sort of scattered around the ring, around the edge. Like, it's super sparse, and unless you're in certain areas, you don't see people. Super beautiful. Saw a bunch of waterfalls. I saw a bunch of really cool natural stuff. There was the Asbyrgi Park, which was just like the only place I really saw trees there. There weren't that many trees except maybe a couple on the mountains. It was kind of weird. But in this one area, it's this giant like horseshoe-shaped rock enclosure with this forest all up in there. And the folklore there is that park was made when Sleipnir, Odin's horse, put its hoof down in a chase and like kicked up this stone formation. And it was huge and enormous and just beautiful. I got some really, really cool pictures of just like, I was fucking with the panoramic function and whatnot, making some really just weird photos with just the cool nature I was seeing out there. Like, it was a really cool experience meeting all those people, but man, that place is expensive as fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how did it come about? How long were you planning before you took the trip?
About a year. My mom, ever since she retired, all she wants to do is travel, and so she talked to us last year, and she says, "Where do you want to go?" And I'm just like, that's a pretty big open-ended question. And she's like, how about Iceland? And I'm just like, and a lot of people would be like, what? But a friend of mine, one of my best friends, Jimmy, shout outs, he had just gotten back from Iceland with his girlfriend, and their experience was in the middle of winter, and so very different because they didn't see really any light except for like 4 hours a day, something like that, because of the Arctic Circle nature of the place. And so their experience is really cool and unique. This would be in the summer, so very, very different. We went. I did not see true night the entire time I was there. It was light the whole time. At least light enough to walk along and see everything on the road, and everything kind of dim in certain parts, but light 24 hours a day for a week and a half while I was there. And it's super weird. Super weird.
So, when you said you planned it for about a year, does that mean saving up for a year?
No. It was just like, it was a tour package. It had been planned for a year. It was like that, there was money that was saved up for a trip, put it toward the trip. That's when it was decided like a year ago. And then because we wanted to, the further out in advance you plan something like that, the cheaper it's going to be.
Yeah.
And so it's a good way to do that if you can think ahead of like a year in advance or so. Plan this, set aside the time, make sure it happens. It's definitely advisable. Spur of the moment trips are a lot more expensive because there's a lot of stuff that you don't think of that you need.
So what were just the random strangers and people you met, the natives? What were they like?
I mean, really nice. Like I said, all of them speak English. They may greet you in Icelandic, but as soon as you're just like, hi, they're just like, oh, hi, hello. I'm not going to try to play like I'm going to do their accent or anything, but it was really cool. They were all very friendly, very... Well, when I was saying that I became friends with the tour guide Oscar, or not the tour guide, that was Erling. Shoutouts. That was the bus driver Oscar. Oscar was kind of explaining to me a little bit about like 75%, if I'm remembering correctly, of their GDP in Iceland is based off of American tourism. American tourism, which means there's a significant portion also going to the rest of the world tourism, and then an even smaller portion going to actual industry within their country. So it is hugely tourism based in their economy, and while they are happy that we are there to run their economy by running our money through it, they're also kind of resentful of the need for us. So it was all the people that I talked to were more service industry type of folks. I went walking some, but I didn't really meet people on the street so much. I met a couple people in pubs. Like, I drank a bunch of their bomb beer, dude. A bunch. Because they have... Apparently, beer was only legalized there in 1967. So... That's a weird law that they had for a long time, and they're making up for lost time because they've got a bunch of really good breweries. Einstock was super cool. I'd had it once previously at a friend's wedding, but I had like 4 or 5 more of their styles there, and they were all awesome. And sorry, there was a question I feel like I didn't answer.
Which was?
I don't know, like maybe some question that you'd posed. I don't know, just sort of went on a tangent about experience in Iceland rather than really driving to a point again.
No.
So,
No, I prefer you to just, spout out about your time in there,
Well,
I like to hear.
That's what I got, man. That's what I got. Ate a bunch of fish. Do you like cucumber?
Actually, I've never really had it.
Oh, damn. Cucumber's dope, dude. Like, next time you go grocery shopping, get you a cucumber. Swear to God. Change your life. My grandparents grew cucumbers at their farm, and so I got an early appreciation for them, though I didn't appreciate everything that came from their farm. Some of that stuff was nasty. But cucumbers I loved, and cucumbers now I still really like, and there was cucumber at every breakfast that I had while I was there. And I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely going to eat cucumber at every breakfast while I'm there.
So you said, the prices were crazy.
Crazy. Like...
If you could, I don't know. What is it?
$12 for a gas station hamburger. The menu also had everything up to about a $20 hamburger. And those were combos, to be generous. But it was combos with just fries. The drink was still separate.
Wow.
For $12 to $18. Okay. And that is a gas station burger. Then there's like a nice restaurant burger, a lot more. My sister at one place, because like I said, it was with my family. My sister, she got a cocktail. It was like a strawberry margarita. We didn't read the menu too well, or whatnot. It was a $30 cocktail.
Wow.
And we're just like, oh, let's just so not do that ever again. Because, it was a good cocktail, but it's not worth $30. There's not a cocktail that's worth $30.
So where did y'all stay? Like a hotel or like an Airbnb?
A series of hotels. It was we set it up via a travel company. So it was most of the things were already set up. The hotel stays, most of the meals, the bus travel and everything. The tickets for like we explored a glacier. We went inside a glacier, which was cold and drippy because global warming is real, y'all. It was a drippy glacier, and you know what that means? It means there's a lot of melting going on. Global warming is so real. Do you realize Antarctica is disappearing? That's some real stuff. That's some real stuff. There's fissures running through Antarctica. Did you know this?
Keeping it real, alert.
Yeah, keeping it real. Anyway, we it was all set up via the travel company, and there was a couple meals we paid for ourselves, but it was mostly all set up, and so that was, I'm wanting tentatively to say like a $1,200 per person setup with that travel company.
So were the places y'all visited also just like, set in stone also, or did y'all go?
Yeah, all the hotel stay was set.
Well, I mean like the attractions or.
Oh no! I mean there was a lot of stuff that was organized via the bus tour and everything, but like with towns, after we were done for the day, we could still explore the town all we wanted. We were told when the bus would be leaving in the morning, or what time we were meeting for dinner, if we had an organized dinner that night or whatnot. But it was, we did a lot of exploring. We saw a bunch of stuff that, maybe the rest of the group didn't because they didn't go that way. And so that was really cool. Like, I personally was really invested in exploring the street art in the larger cities.
Oh yeah, so
I got
multiple pictures,
like hundreds of dope street art pictures, and I was super impressed with the street art scene out there, because at least in those two cities, Reykjavik and Akureyri, the capitals of the north and south, not respectively. I think I've mixed those up. Anyways, very, very cool street art, including, I saw the dude repping the tag that I write. And I'm not going to say what it is, but dang, man. Respect from, like, across the world. I got a couple pictures, and I'm just like, okay, I see you. If I could have, like, gotten this mystery person a beer, I would have. And I just would have been like, yeah, man, repping that name. I am in the U.S. You repping it here. We good. And maybe I don't know. There's somebody in like Spain or somebody that has the same tag. And someday we'll all meet each other and form like a psychic network. It'd be too real, dude. Be too real. And scene.
So what were the girls like there?
Pretty hot. Pretty darn hot. The tour guide for the ice for the glacier, she was super cute. She was making all these puns in her cute little Icelandic accent, like kind of like one of the, oh man, I'm completely forgetting the joke she told right now, but the punchline was her saying a piece of shit with a big grin on her face, and man, she was cute. She was super cute. I was about that. I was trying to get her hooked up with my dude Oscar. I was just like, "Hey, you guys would be cute together," because they were talking all during the bus ride from there to from the glacier and back. And I was just like, "Oscar, my dude, holla, 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 holla." And he was just like, "No, I work too much," because everybody apparently has like 2 or 3 jobs there, because although minimum wage is high, taxes are also super high, goods are super expensive. It's very expensive to live there. So there's a lot provided for the taxes they take out, but just the living part is very expensive. So it can be very rough, is what I'm told and what I was seeing over there.
So if you could describe the girls.
Oh yeah, the girls.
Well, yeah, the girls.
I mean,
more about the girls, please.
Blonde, a lot of them. A lot of them are blonde. I noticed, but not exclusively so by any means. They just They've all got that kind of cold weather style going on because, man, it was cold and wet like most of the time I was there, cold and rainy, which is also completely dependent on what region you're in. Because, the north and the south, the climate and ecosystem just sort of like shifts so dramatically from like quadrants of the island. So it's pretty crazy. The weather patterns there just from a whole bunch of factors, like it being on the Arctic Circle, it being, all like on volcanic fault line, stirring up like ocean activity and whatnot. It's a very change heavy climate all the time.
What were the guys like?
Oh man, they were cute. There was a bartender at this one place. He had no trace of an accent, and I was just like, "Where are you from?" And he's just like, "Actually, right here." And I was like, "Huh? Do tell about that." Apparently, he was an actor that went to L.A. for a few years to try and make it, and came back recently. I think he may have said he was going back out there again, but he apparently had been there long enough that he sort of lost his accent. He says he can put it on anytime he wants, but he didn't. I got a mint beer there. This place was called the Green Room, translated from whatever the Icelandic was. I do not remember. It's like a little piano jazz bar. We're hoping to catch it on a piano jazz night, but apparently that was on Wednesdays and we were there on a Tuesday, so that kind of sucked. But for being the Green Room, they had this mint beer. It was pretty good. It was even better with a shot of whiskey in it, which he says he was going to recommend to people after he tried it, and he said it was thebomb.com. So he was cute. But you know what's not cute? Las Vegas. I'm going to Vegas next week for an event called EVO, which is basically the World Series of fighting games. Anybody who kind of knows me well knows that my biggest hobby outside of work and shit is fighting games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and stuff. So I've been there in Las Vegas for this event for the past 4 years now, or this will be my 4th year, I believe. And let me lay it out: Vegas is a piece of shit, straight up. I mean, no disrespect to people who live there and are making a life out there, because that's different. But especially just outsider looking in kind of stuff, it's just your town is dirty and gross. And basically, just if you don't have an event to go for, or a reason to live there or something like that, why would you go? Because it's pissing your money down the drain for this experience, which you could probably get for a lot cheaper. If you're just going for casino experience, go to WinStar and Oklahoma. Go to Louisiana. Vegas is just a little silly. I mean, if you want a city that never sleeps, go to New York or something like that. New York is gonna have a lot more to offer than Vegas, which is glitz, and oh my god, everything is so expensive. It's just, not Iceland's expensive, but expensive nonetheless. Man, just you don't realize how much money is going, if you don't actively think about every single dollar, As, it's taxis and everything, because, man, travel around there is rough, it's so hot in their summer, man. It's hotter than here by a couple degrees. Generally pretty dry, but my God, it will dry you out super quick. If you're walking anywhere, you got to be drinking your water. And I don't know, man. Vegas, you're no fun. You're no fun. Evo's fun, but Vegas is not. Evo's tight though. Fighting games that. That's the life. It's finding a mecca, a place where everybody is nerdy and into the shit that you're into. That's the experience, man. What's your big hobby outside of work and stuff?
Mine's pretty much gaming also. I wouldn't say competitively. But I just like to chill, after get off work, about 2-3 hours of gaming, just play, MLB The Show, some basketball, football.
A lot of sports games?
Yeah, pretty much. That's when I just want to lay back and wind down from my long-ass day at work.
Right on. There's a competitive Madden scene. That's real.
Yeah, I used to watch that all the time. Back when they had it on ESPN2.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. ESPN2 has been really good for esports. Evo this year, you can watch the grand finals on next Sunday. You can watch them on ESPN2, I'm pretty sure. And I'm wanting to say like TBS is picking it up this year. Like, it's getting big. It's getting to like Street Fighter, arguably the worst game of the popular games right now in fighting gamedom. It's just super simple. But the thing is, it's still fun to watch competitively. And the Capcom Pro Tour, Capcom has been pumping money into this, and there's like $1 million some prize thing for first in Street Fighter V this year. $1 million. And, you know, people are like, oh, you're never going to make a living playing video games. People are making a living playing video games now.
Yeah, like...
It's so crazy.
In Call of Duty, it's prevalent also.
Oh, yeah. Call of Duty teams, those guys, they go to, you know, MLG and, you know, all these big tournaments, DreamHack. You know, the scene is getting... I'm almost saturated, almost to the point where, you know, there's a tournament any given weekend. Any given weekend, you can find esports. Maybe not always necessarily fighting games, maybe not always necessarily FPSs, but you can find a tournament any day, any given weekend. It's just with the prevalence of streaming culture and everything.
That's what I was going to bring up. Twitch.
It's huge. Twitch, yeah. Twitch revolutionized it. You remember there was that other platform that I don't even remember the name of anymore, but it was a direct competitor to Twitch.
Justin TV?
That sounds like maybe almost it.
Ustream?
No, there's another one. It was very gaming oriented. I don't know. They just destroyed them. It was a long, hard battle, but they had some sort of like legal decision. I don't know. I'm talking straight out of my ass on that. But, you know, Twitch and that other one, you know, rest in peace. They definitely revolutionized everything and put money in the hands of, you know, there are people who make money streaming video games. They get online, and because they're good at the game and they're a good personality that they can talk about the game and what they're doing and why they're doing, they can, you know, teach people how to play the game. They can teach people how not to play the game. In the case of certain dickheads, like there's this dude named Low Tier God who is a famous fighting game streamer. The dude is straight trash. Like, if you're listening ever to this, you are straight trash, dude. This guy, he's decent. He's pretty decent. Like, he would maybe even probably beat me. But the thing is, he is such a scrub player. He's just like, you're beating me with my own brain. You're making me choose the wrong decisions. That's how it works. That's how fighting works. That's how any sort of competitive thing works. You pressure people into making mistakes and you capitalize them on them. That's how it works. And this dude just doesn't understand that. And he just talks shit about every other character. Anybody else plays, oh, he's stupid, he's brain dead, he's a terrible character. And then if he plays the person who is playing his character, he thinks that dude is stupid for playing his character, and he won't even play the mirror match of his own character. He'll switch to some other character who he said was stupid 5 minutes ago when he was playing him.
I don't know this guy, but I hate you.
Yeah, man. Low Tier God, you trash, son. You trash. So, yeah.
Okay, so there's also the opposite side of that spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the e-girls.
True. And, you know, big ups, man. Get your money where you can. Like, ain't no shame in anybody's game. Like, I would love to, you know, if they're super into the culture and they're bringing more people into the culture, great. If they're not super knowledgeable about it, but they're maybe trying to be, great. If they're faking out there just trying to get money and views, I probably won't watch them because I could probably tell, but great. Good for them. You do you, boo-boo. If you're making lots of money and you showing out to cons and stuff and people wants to pay money for your prints with your signature on them, I'm loving it, baby. Like, I'm loving your hustle. I see you. Like, don't necessarily respect you or want to talk to you or anything. Not necessarily, just not inherently. Like, it's just, I'm not disrespecting you. Let's put it that way. But, you know, as far as just like, would I go up and try to strike a conversation with some of these like e-girls who don't really seem to know what they're talking about in the games that they're playing? No, because that's not why I go to these events. Like, you know, man, the dream would be finding a girl who is, you know, just like super into fighting games. Like, one who could kick my ass at fighting games, man, I'd be all about that. Like, I've tried to talk girlfriends and to be like, hey, let me teach you how to kick my ass at a fighting game. Like, girl, what's good? Let me teach you this character. It never works despite fighting games are super fun, man. Like, if anybody's listening out there who is interested in fighting games, look up your local fighting game community, or FGC. Swear to God, they're out there. There's Facebook groups here in DFW. There's one for Fort Worth, there's one for DFW, there's one for Denton, and to all these different kinds of games. There's some dedicated to Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee. There's a huge competitive scene for that. And, I don't know if everybody knows that, but if you like that game, you play it in your basement, you think you're the shit, you can beat all your cousins, boy, show out and show what a real pro does, because we'll show you. I won't. Full disclaimer, I don't really play Melee anymore. I love it. Super respect, but it's not really my scene. I'm more into the 2D fighters, and recently Tekken 7, because that game is so raw. Shoutouts to Harada. Shoutouts to Namco. Love you dudes. I'm putting in work with Dragonov, because he's got the throw mix-ups. Gotta have throw mix-ups if you're a character that I play in fighting games. But, this is all just, like, scattershot about everything. Like, with your sports games, man, like, who's your teams? Who do you play? You stick to Dallas teams?
No, mainly I stick to the creative player mode.
Oh, word? Yeah.
So...
make a whole team and everything?
No, just one creative player.
Oh, okay, cool.
So... most of the time you get drafted to a team.
Can you create a whole team or something like that?
I think so, but I don't really mess with that.
I'd be into that. So you get drafted, right?
Yeah, and you're just an everyday player. You just
okay. Does it have that full life experience thing? Because you remember those old WWE games?
Yes.
The full you're backstage, you're chilling. Somebody comes through. It's very very this is their life, but then oh, a fight breaks out in the ring. Oh, there's the chair. Da, 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 da. Oh, man, WWE. Shoutouts. Man,
I still watch it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
You like the New Day?
Oh, yes.
Dude,
I love Big E.
Yeah, they're all so good. And you know what? Xavier Woods, he runs Street Fighter V tournaments in the back of their locker rooms because he loves Street Fighter.
Do you know his Up Down channel?
No, I didn't.
That's on YouTube. You check it out. Yeah, he plays all kinds of games.
Hell yeah, with
WWE superstars. You should check it out.
Nice, man. There's a streaming show called Excellent Adventures with Mike Ross and Gutex. I may have mixed up the order of their names. Gutex and Mike Ross. Whatever. Excellent Adventures. You can find it. They sit down and they play generally the Street Fighter du jour. Occasionally, the Marvel vs. Capcom. Typically the Capcom fighters. They tried Mortal Kombat 10, but neither one of them was really feeling it. Mike was being salty. It's cool, Mike. I see you. But they had Xavier Woods on there, and it was super cool seeing because there's a huge lot of love between FGC fighting game community again, folks, and WWE and the wrestling crowd. There's a Japanese wrestler. Well, he's an American guy in a Japanese wrestling federation called One Power, or I don't remember the name of the wrestling federation, but dude's name is Kenny Omega, and he is super into fighting games. He does fireball poses in the ring and everything, and just he straight clowns on him with the fighting game moves. And also he's a legit fighting game player. He showed up to tournaments every once in a while, and he's been on the Excellent Adventures, and he's super cool, man. Xavier Woods is while cool and into the game, would not be able to beat Kenny Omega, and I'll put that on the record.
So did you hear about the controversy with Xavier Woods?
No, I did not.
And a wrestler named Paige.
What about it?
They have a sex tape.
Dang!
It just leaked a few months ago.
People have sex and take video, photographic evidence. That's cool. Why is this scandalous? Is it just because we saw their junk, or?
Yeah, just because, I don't know.
Then who gives a fuck?
I don't care, but
why is it a thing? These
people are sensitive these days.
Yeah, nah, come on now, man.
Oh no, these humans don't have sex at all.
I hear that a lot. People are sensitive these days. No, people are just kind of tired of dealing with some certain nonsense. patience, sense of humor. People say like we don't have these things. We can't keep our cool. A lot of people have been told to keep their cool about things that aren't cool to keep your cool about for a long time. And so, the fact that there's, hard conversations that are happening that need to happen concerning, race, concerning religion, concerning, people's sexuality, concerning, all this different stuff. It's just like, these people have been told for so long that they need to shut up with their issues, and now people are trying to talk about their issues because they need to live, and people are telling them that, they can't because, basically because they don't want to give them their turn to speak.
Yeah.
And speaking of turn to speak, I feel like I was kind of dominating that. Like, it seemed like you had something to say on that.
No.
Okay, right on. Like, people. The social justice warrior negative stereotype, I just can't disagree more with. I mean, that's a label that I wear pretty proudly, like, and I feel no shame about. I consider myself more of a social justice cleric, if we're being real. A
word I really hate is liberal. The liberals, they use that as a dirty word.
Yep. You hear that a lot, and libtard kind of frustrates me because it just that's just another group that they're kind of putting together. To put tard on something like that's not too cool these days. People take themselves too seriously. No, you're using retarded as a way to denigrate whatever that you don't like. So what does that say about retarded people? You don't like them? What is that supposed to say to them when they hear you say that? Do you care? Oh, I shouldn't have to care. Well, but, aren't we, You're just saying people need to keep their cool. Part of keeping your cool is not saying everything that comes to your mind, because not everybody needs to hear your opinion on everything. Which is ironic, because we're doing a podcast where basically we talk about whatever comes to our mind. Anyway, probably don't want to hear my opinion on every little thing. Am I right? So.
Okay, so instead of opinions, let me ask you straight facts then.
All right, what you want to hear?
Okay, so we talked about... No, you talked about middle school, pretty much.
I did, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about high school.
Okay, what about it, yeah.
Okay, so there was a question that, came in my mind as I was preparing. Okay, so when you were in high school, were there any girls that you saw or you were friends with that at the time you were like, man, I wish I could get with her, but you didn't know her, or you were in the friend zone, or something was just blocking your path? Were there any type of situations like that where at the time there was something blocking it, but later on you got it? You achieved your success.
I mean, success is not a word that I would choose to really describe any of my relationships. So that is the problem with that. As for, maybe kissing, dating briefly, doing some sexing up of some girls later, yeah, one or two, and it was just sort of a matter of, times changed, we became different people, we were appealing to each other in that time. Like, I don't try to begrudge anybody a time period where, I didn't, or, they didn't find me attractive when I did, or, and I hope they wouldn't begrudge it when, with the vice versa was true, because that's, you want what you want, and if it doesn't line up at that time or you can't make it work, forcing something is not going to help anything, I feel like. There's a matter of choice and commitment, because love is a many splendored thing. Love is a bunch of song lyrics, right? Love is mostly choice. It's there's a feeling there for sure. You know, there's the fondness and the closeness and the lust. Hopefully, if you got it going on in the sack, and you know all of that. But you know, love in the end is a choice. Love is you going, no, tomorrow too, next day after that, I'll be there, and the next day. Like that's what it's about. And I'm still looking for that. That I've got a lot of family love. I get a bunch of my family's great. My friends are amazing. I have some wonderful friends and a great support system. But that romantic love is an entirely different thing. So I mean, props on you for finding one to keep. Jealous.
Thank you. It seemed like it took forever to find someone amazing like her, but I finally did. Better late than never, and I am so grateful for it.
Yeah, man, from one forever to another one, because that's what you're starting, and that's beautiful. There's a lot to be said for that commitment, and it's like you said, I don't try to begrudge people, loving and wanting what they want, because as much as I may want somebody, if they don't want me, I don't want somebody who doesn't want me. I want the them that I think wants me, kind of thing. Like enthusiastic consent is a really big thing. Like, I mean, consent is a really big thing. Like let's start there. But enthusiastic consent, that's sexy to me. Yes. Someone who is excited to be with me. Someone who's super happy to be with me. Someone who's jazzed as fuck about it. Like, I ideally want to be with them. Like, they're the person that, like, I want to talk to about that cool thing. I've got to send them that stupid cat meme. I've got to send them every other goddamn meme, because I just share memes like they're going out of style. Like anybody else. I mean, like, it's just, memes are great. For those who haven't seen them on the internet, they're there. You should probably look into that. I love memes. Do you ever like make any memes or create?
I used to when I had a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah.
Years ago, I would just sit in my damn room and I would make them. Yeah.
Yeah. I never really have. Like, I've messed around with it a little bit. I've had various meme ideas. Like, I had an idea of just like animals making really dumb animal puns, and just like that's the whole meme. That's the page or whatnot. And I think that's so cool that like there's like meme channels basically. It's kind of like TV channels. Just flip through, be like just one after another. It's like TV programming, and one way that's sort of weird if you think about it. Just like how we can sit there and be amused by just like swiping down on our phone and going through memes for how long? Fuck, I don't know. Hour and a half? That's a movie. That's a movie of memes you just went through.
And just a picture with words that relate to the picture,
or don't relate to the picture.
Like the character in the meme picture never said that at all, or they wouldn't say that. Mm-hmm. But still, you get to laugh.
You get to laugh. You get to and when there's a meme that gets overdone, eventually the people start breaking down the meme. Like you've seen the floor is lava memes.
Yeah,
of course. Who hasn't? And so you get all the variants of like the floor is this, and somebody like something good like the floor is a loving relationship, and it's you like falling all over the floor and whatnot. But then there's just like I saw one the other day, and it was just like it was just the floor, and it said the floor, and that's it. And I love that kind of shit.
Yeah,
that like deconstruction humor, because I'm just like, yep, that is the floor. You're right. And then it makes all the other ones kind of funnier, because I'm just sort of seeing the floor underneath it. I'm like, the floor. Because that's the foundation, if you think about it, of the joke, is the floor.
Yeah. So to circle all the way back to the question I asked you about the high school hookup that you wanted at the time but didn't get.
Right.
I've had a few of those in the years since I've graduated. Some of them amazing,
Mhm.
you know, better than I expected. Others a letdown and a disappointment. But that's all I have to say about that. I won't kiss and tell, but
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Like, there's a certain amount of fantasy involved with all that, and for the most part, I'm just okay with letting that remain a fantasy, unless somebody comes around in my life in a really organic fashion, and is like sex to me. I don't really enjoy casual sex at all. I have had it, and some of it was even bordering on pretty good. But for the most part, that's not what it's about for me. It's about the connection with that person. So sex outside of a relationship isn't something I look for at all. And so if I'm gonna be in a relationship with somebody, that's sex is very important to me as a person. So that has to be a factor and something involved. But then that's a big, really cool, fun conversation to have. And so the girls from high school, like, they were very cute in high school, and I wanted to put my penis in them very badly, but a lot of them I didn't, and that is perfectly fine. And they have found other happy penises or vaginas or whatever they're into to keep them happy, or they haven't, and they're in the same boat, but they're still not looking for me. And it's a big, complicated subject, love and everything. It's sometimes you find it and it makes so much sense, and those I feel like are the ones that you should really fight for. I've had some that made so much sense that I fought for that maybe just didn't make as much sense to the other person, and that hurts. But it is what it is. You keep moving, and live to fight another day. Maybe see them later. Maybe find love with one of those people that you didn't think you would or never would, 10 years from now. I don't know. Like, it's I'm just trying to keep it moving and just follow my hobbies and passions and whatnot. Like I say, I'm going to Evo this next week, and like, just delving into my hobbies and passion has been really good for me and growing as a person, figuring out what I can do. And just using it, because I've used hobbies and like whatnot as an excuse not to travel long enough, that using them as an excuse to travel is pretty cool.
yeah, that's way better. Yeah.
Like I'm actually there's Evo in Vegas, which is every year, and that's been going on for something like 20 years or something. It's pretty well established. This next year, they're having the inaugural year of Evo Japan in Tokyo in January. Sounds like your boy is going to Japan in January, because why not have my first trip to Japan be doing stuff that I love? And I could do like a tour bus kind of thing, but like, that's not really the experience I'd be looking for in Japan. And Japan is something that I've wanted to go to and experience for a long time. Like, back in high school, I took Japanese all 4 years of school. I don't remember it very well. I was not a very good student. I'm sorry, very sorry, Miss Camp. I was not good, and you knew that. What up?
I took it also, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I regret that decision. Should have just went to Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're again, sort of enthusiastic consent, unless you're into learning this language and into making it work, it's not gonna. So it's it's like a relationship in that aspect, because you can grow unfamiliar and cold with a language, and you can grow unfamiliar and cold with a relationship. As long as you keep it close and keep it on your mind, that's when it works.
I think that's the perfect name for this episode. Enthusiastic consent.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, man. You always got, like, let's not just say yes. Let's say hell yes. Like, there was an article that said just that I read a few years back that really resounded with me. It's called, the article, I'm sure you could find it online, it's called Fuck Yes or No. And that's just a matter of, with relationships and, not even romantic relationships, friend relationships or whatnot. If somebody is not, like, fuck yeah excited to hang out with you, all right, well, I'm going to hang out with people I'm fuck yeah excited about, who are fuck yeah excited to hang out with me. And, maybe it's a timing thing. Maybe somebody isn't fuck yeah excited to hang out with you right then. It's understandable. But if it becomes a trend, maybe understand that they don't have that fuck yeah excitement about you and hanging out with you. And although that may hurt, like, now you know. And live your life accordingly. And, there's a lot of lessons in what people say, but there's just as many lessons in what people don't say.
Yeah, I always try to read between the lines of body language and vocal language. I always read between the lines.
Tone, very important. Same thing can mean so many different things. And, just how you slightly move words around is just, can change a lot. Like,
and punctuation also.
Yeah. I saw a thing earlier today that really
I read
my
that
shit. It was you are shit. That's an insult. You ain't shit. That's an insult. You are not shit. That's a reassurance. You are not the shit is an insult. You are the shit. That's praise. What? It just...
Yeah, it's language.
Yeah, language. And, you got to keep it close and keep it on your mind, like that relationship. You got to keep that language in order to understand it. Like, I think that's maybe one of my favorite analogies for a relationship I've ever kind of explored. Is it's like a language. It's each relationship is its own language that you have to learn in full, and you better damn hope that you stay fluent in it, or else it's gonna fall apart and you're gonna get rusty and you're gonna order the wrong thing in a restaurant because you didn't know what you're saying properly. I'm just going on with the language thing, language barrier. You're gonna order the wrong thing in the restaurant, and suddenly you don't have a relationship anymore, because that's how relationships work, with a bad order at a restaurant, right? Sort of, if you're considering the full impact of this analogy. Psychic squads, man. But hey, man, you let me ramble on for a bit. I do need to get going here. It's getting kind of late. But, thank you for having me, dude. Like, I'll be happy to come over again, and shoot the shit with you, chop it up about this, that, and what have you. Like, real pleasure to be hanging with Deezy. Well, I'm sorry, what was it?
It's Vibe with Deezy.
Vibe with Deezy, my man. I'm sorry. I got y'all fucked up over here. It's been a pleasure to vibe with Deezy. If y'all out there in cyberspace land ain't vibed with Deezy before, check him out again. I may be back talking about all manner of salacious shit. But my man Deezy hold it down with all the wild guests. So, thank you for having me, brother.
Hey, fun always to see old friends.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Always.
I mean, like, you're one of the older friends I've got. I mean, honestly, because like I said, moving to Georgia, or moving from Georgia, it's sort of like that cutoff point of where, like, I don't really have those people anymore. Like, I'm Facebook friends with some of them, but I see they're getting married and stuff, but I ain't seen them in like 20 years. So different kind of thing altogether. But yeah, man, always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, guys. Well, I'm not, really good at goodbyes. So see you next time. Bye.